tip 15 to 20% at a sit-down restaurant, okay?
We paid for tax, we paid for
Service
VAT,
charge.
and then service charge.
Like,
It was almost like,
hi guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. So it has always been on our mind to visit the United States of
it's
America.
everybody's dream over here.
Yeah, and we recently we've been planning on going there. So we want to actually get the lay of the land before we do. And in that light, we're going to be diving into Visit America, the dawns of visiting the USA before we go and commit a crime there. Let's see what we shouldn't do. So stick around with us. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment on this YouTube channel. We'll see you on the video. Let's go.
Hey there, fellow travelers. Mark here with Walter's World, and today we're in Mystic, Connecticut, in a beautiful place here in the U.S. And today what we have for you are the don'ts of visiting the U.S. because anywhere you go in the world, there's things you should do, but there's also things you shouldn't do. And this video is going to just cover the U.S.
I'm so sorry. I've never thought America had a don't not to do.
Exactly, because it's kind of like a land that portrays freedom
Yeah.
and everything. So
this is going to be a dive.
in general, okay? And our first don't for when you visit the U.S. is don't touch the Americans. Look, Americans really like their personal space. It's like they have a bubble around them, and if you get too close to them, they feel very, 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 very uncomfortable, okay? So make sure you give them a little distance when you are there, you know, because I know when I go to Italy and Spain and stuff, we're like, Mark, how's it going, all this stuff, and my American friends sometimes go, wow, they're really, really affectionate. Like, that's just how it is.
I'm sorry. I actually thought Americans are the very affectionate people.
yeah, they are affectionate, but they don't like you including in their personal space.
I would say they are friendly, but you know, it's made mention of Spain being all bodyish and friendly. But in case of America,
they love the distance.
I think that's the wrong perception I think I have regarding the Americans.
I watched one video online where this guy was kind of like, you know, got near to an American, and he was now, you know, pissed. Like,
oh wow.
So,
I never knew.
Is here, space
so
is key.
Kind of
the
like
second don't I have for you is don't count on public transportation. Look, when we were in China and we were throughout Europe and South America, we took buses and trains and planes and all kinds of stuff to get all over the place because public transport is really developed. Here in the U.S., you cannot count on public transport to get you a lot of places. Yes, in big cities like New York and Chicago and stuff like that, you can get around with public transport and it'll take you where you want to go. But a lot of towns, small towns especially, in middle-sized cities, the public transportation networks are not very good. And at night, sometimes it's not very safe. So that is kind of a frustrating thing. So yes, you're going to probably have to rent a car when you come here, okay? So just have a heads up for that. And that kind of leads into the next don't I have for you is don't underestimate the size of the U.S.
Obviously, the United States is
very huge.
What? Is the last time I saw how big is the US, I was like, this place is a continent on its own.
Yeah.
It's so big.
It's, you know, continental U.S. is like continental Europe. It's huge. I mean, would you think of driving from, I'm going to do, you know, from Lisbon to Paris and then go up to Tallinn and then head down to Sofia? No, you're like, that is insanely far. It's the same thing when you come to the U.S. I meet a lot of travelers that are like, wow. I'm going to fly into New York, grab a car, drive down to Miami to see Miami Beach, and then head over to L.A. I'm like, dude, you got 2 weeks? You're going to spend the entire time in cars. The distances here are insane. So what I recommend is picking a region. So, we're going to stay here in New England and see New England. Or we're going to go in the southeast, you know, go to Atlanta and Savannah and Charleston, things like that. Or visit the West Coast. You do that to get a better idea of the culture there and things like that. But also, it's just the logistics things because it's so far between the places. And to go along with that, for Americans, a 3 to 4 hour drive, that's a day trip. Like my parents live 3 hours away. I will literally get up, go drive, have lunch with my mom, and then drive back home. Just for lunch. 6 hours in the car. No big deal. It's about 7 hours when we start to think, that kind
Sorry. 6 whole freaking hours in the car?
Just go and have a meal with your parents.
I usually get car sick. I don't think that distance is for me. I just cannot. That's crazy. The last time we were on an hour trip, I was like, gosh, I want to throw up. I feel so nauseous.
She was just holding me tight.
I'm telling you.
Kind of is a long drive, and we drive the entire way through. Okay, this isn't like, I must stop every 2 hours and have a 15-minute break. Oh, no. No. We drive all the way through, okay? Now, my next don't for you when you come here is don't think that the sticker price is the end price. Look, in the US, we have sales tax. I know other countries, they have VAT, value-added taxes. They're already put into the price of products. So when you see, oh, it's $1 or €1, oh, I only pay €1. In the US, it is not like that. We have sales tax, so a certain percentage is added onto that product. And the thing is, I cannot tell you what the sales tax will be where you're going to travel because it's different everywhere. Cities, states, counties, different products have different sales taxes, and some products don't have sales taxes. Some cities don't have sales taxes. Some have 10% sales tax. It can be different anywhere you go. So if you're going to go get your dollar menu item at a McDonald's or a Culver's or a wherever, it's not going to be $1. Where I live, there's 2 cities right by where I live. One, it's going to be $1.08. The other one, it's going to be $1.09. So be ready for that. And it's not just the sales tax. Also, there could be the tipping on top. And that leads us into the fifth don't, and that is don't.
Oh, I'm so sorry we've been pausing lately, but over here in Nigeria, we don't really have 6 stars. We have the VAT.
Yeah, we have.
The last time we went for, I think my birthday, we went for a dinner. I was so pissed off because we paid for tax, we paid for VAT, and then service charge.
Like,
it was almost like 10,000 naira on top the normal food. Just imagine the amount range. It was so bogus, and I was like, what the hell? Just imagine you coming with the same 10,000 naira or the exact amount of money for the food or the dinner, and they have been added,
It's so annoying.
Very.
Don't forget to tip. Look, in the US, you tip 15 to 20% at a sit-down restaurant, okay? Now, McDonald's, stuff like that, no, you don't tip at a fast food place, but if it's a sit-down restaurant where they bring you your food and stuff like that, you will tip them 15 to 20%. If you are in a group of 6 people or more, sometimes they automatically put the gratuity on there, which sometimes can be 18% or something like that. Look, when you come to the...
What is this tipping for? Because I know tipping is
restaurant not paying,
like giving out.
Well, I want to get something. Don't get me wrong, right? Tipping is good, but tipping shouldn't be like compulsory. It should be voluntarily. Because there are sometimes that people deliver things for me, or I go to eat. And okay, there was during your birthday, right? The musician, right? When he played a very nice music, I tipped him. Like, I was moved to do that. I don't know where I'm coming from. So, but making it compulsory that, okay, I eat here, I must pay 15% of tip or 20% of tip. That's hilarious.
I'll cook in my house.
I will cook in my home.
Come to the U.S., there's a reason why the food is like so affordable. You're like, wow, it's cheap to go out and eat in the U.S. It's because there's kind of this understanding that the service fees and paying for the workers and the waitresses and stuff like that, that goes on to you, the person eating there, with the tips. So the food and stuff can be cheaper when you go out to eat. And I know a lot of people say,
I think I understand it better right now. So I guess my furiousness was actually not necessary. They say the food is cheaper, which means they are kind of like putting the payment of the staff on you. Because here in this my country, right? The day we went to eat food, the food was hilariously expensive, and you are still charging us the service charge, the VAT and tax, and with one other stuff. I think the venue. So, like, bro, what? Did you put that all in the food that you are charging so high for? So
I don't believe in tipping, and if tipping isn't the right thing, they should pay their people more. Well, if you want to pay more for your food, they can do that, but they don't. Okay, so tipping is something we do here in the U.S. So do tip that 15 to 20%. Oh, also, if you're at a bar and you're buying drinks, you're going to want to tip a couple dollars here and there. Otherwise, the bartender might not be too quick to come back and get you your next drink.
Okay. That is
no, I get that one totally. If you want to get drunk, you need to tip.
So falling off of those tips, what you need to realize is our next don't be freaked out by the over-the-top service and free stuff you sometimes get in the U.S. Look, because of tipping and commissions and stuff like that, yes, there is a lot of over-the-top service here. But the thing is, in the U.S., the people actually are pretty nice and they want to help people. And sometimes for some travelers, they come from countries where people don't get a lot of service sometimes, it can be a bit much, so don't freak out about it. Also with that is don't be freaked out with some of the free stuff you get when you go to restaurants. Look, if you go to a restaurant and they bring you bread and water or chips and salsa and all those really good things, that's included in your meal. Okay, so if you're going to be buying something, they're going to give you some free stuff. It might be some bread, it might be a salad, it might be it might be something like that. So don't be like, I didn't order this bread, I didn't order this salad. Oh no, that comes with your meal, okay? Now the thing is though, you can't just go in and get chips and salsa and walk out, all right? You actually have to order some food when you go there. Now my next don't for you is don't smoke cigarettes in the US. If you're smoking cigarettes in the US, people will look at you like you're trying to kill their baby. Cigarettes is like totally verboten, like people really frown upon it, which is fun.
First of all, the reason why I did my face like that when I had don't smoke cigarettes, right, is not because I do smoke, but because I noticed something. When I watch American movies, I do see a lot of smoking. Do you understand? I do see people, they actually, like, if they're working in an office, they'll be like, give me a minute, I need to like smoke or something like that. So me hearing this from him shocks me. I'm not gonna lie.
So what have I been saying?
Yeah, what have I been saying? Exactly. Because I even thought that it is kind of a normal.
You know?
Yeah. So thanks for this.
Funny because when they talk about marijuana and stuff like that, people don't seem to care as much. But cigarettes, oh, you're trying to kill my baby with that cigarette 2 blocks away. So if you do smoke, make sure you try to find a place where you can smoke, because a lot of restaurants, or pretty much all restaurants, hotels, stuff like that, have smoke-free. It's smoke-free, so you got to go like 15 to 20 feet away from doing things, so that can be something. So I've come here outside my favorite liquor store to give you the next don't, and that is don't try to buy alcohol unless you're 21, or cigarettes unless you're 18 or over in the US. They will not sell them to you. And the thing is, don't forget your ID, because if you look like you're 40 or under, they may ask you for that. And don't get mad at them, because if they don't ask, they could get in trouble and get fined. So don't be surprised, because we've had friends that have come here, try to buy alcohol, and they're like, sorry, you don't look old enough. Oh, I don't have my ID. Too bad. And the thing is, it's not just the person buying. They might ask anybody with you, so make sure everybody has their ID if they want to buy liquor, or they want to buy alcohol, or if they want to buy cigarettes. So just FYI on that one. Oh, that's also another don't I have.
Sorry for this once again. I'm so sorry. Just that we don't have that kind of restriction over here. I've seen countless, even 16 years old, or less, take alcohol. They even put it online. If you guys actually follow up online, you see something like that, and I'm like, who sell these to them?
No guideline.
No guideline.
There's no enforcement.
So I really love this
enforcement.
Yeah, I really love this enforcement. To be frank and honest with you, I even support it 100%. You need to be old enough to actually be allowed to take any of them, so that you know that you're making the decision for yourself and for your health at the same time. Sorry for that pause. Let's continue.
Don't I have for you is don't bother with a metric system when you come here. We don't use meters. We don't use kilometers. We don't use liters. It is inches, feet, miles, gallons, pounds, things like that. And I'll put a conversion chart here to show you. But honestly, you may say, hey, how far is it to this next town? And they'll tell you, oh, it's like 60 miles. You're like, what's that? Just know 60 miles, it's about 100 kilometers, okay? So just do that, because the people here won't get it. I mean, I have people, when I'll tell them, oh, it's 100 meters away, they're like, 100 meters? It's like 100 yards. Oh, okay. So make sure you do know your imperial system, okay? Because metric, we don't do that so much here. So our next don't is, when you do come to the US, there's a couple things you don't talk about, okay? One is gun control, and 2 is politics, because no matter where you are, you will get people on either side of the spectrum, and they will have an argument with you. So it's best just to lay off those topics, talk about the weather. Oh, wouldn't it be nice if it was sunny today? We can go sailing? Yes, that would be much.
Wait, sorry, I didn't get that. Can I just go back? Sorry,
I'm so sorry. The government takes away.
And 2 is politics, because no matter where you are, you will get people on either side of the spectrum, and they will have an argument with you. So it's best just to lay off those topics, talk about the weather. Oh, wouldn't it be nicer if it was sunny today and we could go sailing? Yes, that would be much better than discussing gun control or politics. Just putting that one out there for you right now. Now, my next don't for you is, don't assume that all the U.S. and all the Americans are the same. Because I know a lot of people say, oh, you're a typical American. Well, it's like saying you're a typical European. Look, the U.S. has all kinds of different cultures, all kinds of different people, all kinds of different topography and scenery and stuff like that. And when you come here, don't assume it's all the same. You will see regional differences in cuisines and how people treat each other, and how everything looks, all kinds of stuff. So don't just think there's just one kind of American. They're all fat, slobby guys with ponytails. models. No, there's actually a lot of skinny people in America too, not just fat guys like me and my buddy Jeff. There are those. So don't assume it's all the same, all right? So do go out and explore. And that's why I always say is if you're going to come to the U.S., go and explore different regions because you'll get a really different feel. Because going to the southeast and seeing the plantation homes and going to see the southern towns down there versus going to the northwest and Seattle and Portland or going to San Francisco or going to the Midwest with Chicago and Milwaukee, you're going to have a very different feel, which is really a cool thing to do. And you start to understand is, wow, the U.S. does have a lot of different cultures within it, a lot of different feelings when you go around here. And following on with that, I guess I would say another don't is don't assume there's no culture in the U.S. because there are a lot of cultural centers out there. If you go down to New Orleans, you see a very rich culture there. You go to New York or Boston, here in New England, you have a very distinct culture. In the Midwest with Chicago, Milwaukee, you go to the West Coast. I mean, there's a lot of different culture here. Historic culture with the Native Americans or more recent culture here. I mean, you have all that here you can really take in. And saying there's no culture in the U.S., it's not really true because there are all these different cultural centers.
To be honest, I actually thought there's no culture in the USA.
Really?
Yeah. To be honest, like deep down.
With great museums like the Art Institute of Chicago or the Met in New York, the Getty in LA. There's all kinds of stuff you can see and do when you are here. For a cultural trip, it's not just seeing beautiful landscapes and seascapes like we are here in Connecticut. There's a lot more to it than that. Now, my next don't for you is one that I kind of get a lot of questions about. We actually have a video on this, and then that is, don't think that how are you or how's it going is actually a question. Look, when we say how's it going, how are you, these kind of things in the US, it's not a question, it's a statement. It's like saying hi. Okay, just take it as a hi. Because a lot of people say, everyone asks me how I'm doing. When I try to tell them how I'm feeling, they're like, well, I was just saying, how are you? Here, how are you is just hi. Think of it that way. It's like in France, ça va, ça va. How's it going? How's it going? We're good to go. In Portuguese, tudo bem, everything good. You answer back, tudo bem, everything good. It's just, how are you? How are you? You move on, okay? So don't think it's an actual question, all right? Now, another don't I have for you is don't expect a lot at the fancy hotels. You know, you're thinking, oh, I'm going to pay more money for this hotel. I'm probably going to get nicer stuff, like a nicer breakfast, better Wi-Fi. Oh, no, 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 no. For some reason in the US, it seems like the nicer the hotel, the more you have to pay for the things that you think would be free, like Wi-Fi and breakfast. Wow. So don't feel like you have to stay at the fancy hotels, because honestly, if you're going to be going out and exploring, you just need a couple beds, right? So stay at the hotels in the US, and the cheaper ones will give you free Wi-Fi, free breakfast, all these kind of things, which is really nice, so don't expect that from the fancy hotels. Another don't I have for you is don't skip out on the local food. Look, we're here in New England. We're here in Connecticut. We've been having lobster and clams and, oh my God, the New England clam chowder. Oh, my tummy is just like, more. It's fantastic. When I'm in the South, man, Southern fried chicken, mac and cheese, barbecue. Oh my God. The food in the different regions in the U.S. are great. So don't just go to chain restaurants. When you go to your hotel, ask them, hey, what's some local restaurants around here? What's some locally owned and operated restaurants? So you can go there and check out those places because they really give you a great experience. And I find a lot of times those ones actually have better service than the chain restaurants because it's a mom and pop place where the owners are the ones helping you out, and that is really kind of a cool thing. Now, my next don't for you is don't get sick. Look, healthcare in the U.S. is insanely expensive, and just because you come from another country doesn't mean they're not going to find you for the bill, all right? So if you're going to be coming here, make sure you get travel insurance or trip insurance, so in case you do get sick or you do break an ankle or you do break an arm or something happens to you, your insurance will cover it. Now, you might have to pay it first and your insurance pays you back, but at least you'll get something back because healthcare here in the U.S. is insanely expensive, okay? So make sure you're prepared for that. And I guess my last don't I'm going to have for you is one that people actually got mad at me for when I lived in other countries when I told them the U.S. has 50 states. And they said, no, the U.S. has 52 states. Look, don't think the U.S. has 52 states. The U.S. has 50 states, okay? Just a heads up on that one. I'm sure that people are going to be commenting down below that when I was in school, they told me 52. No, there's 48 on the mainland, and then Alaska and Hawaii are 49 and 50, all right? So those are our don'ts for visiting the U.S. What are some of the don'ts you have for the U.S.? Because I know there's more out there. I just want to get some of these out there to help out travelers heading to the U.S. just so we can get things going. Anyway, if you like videos like this, we have stuff on what the don'ts of going to Russia, the don'ts of going to Germany, the don'ts of going to Brazil and things like that. And we really like helping travelers with honest travel advice. So if you like this video, do click that subscribe button. It means a lot to us, and we put new travel videos out every Wednesday and Saturday to help great travelers just like you. So I'll say bye from Connecticut and have a great time in the U.S. because don't worry, you will. It's a fantastic place.
Actually, I heard a lot about the US. US over here is everybody's dream to be.
Yeah, because it's the land of the free, especially in the aspect of freedom. But that
Not
is
just
what,
freedom, it's just there's something about the US. Everybody is so
yeah, but I think basically for
heads
me,
of
I feel
it.
like it's the freedom that I actually fantasize about the place. Not that there is no freedom here, but it's kind of like I feel like the system here is rigged. That's it.
No,
It's rigged.
it's actually rigged everywhere, but
Exactly.
it's more rigged.
More rigged over here.
But honestly, right, most of the points you stated there are things I thought it was a pass in the USA. This was actually like an eye opener, like, oh wow, wow.
The one that shocked me the most is don't get sick.
I know the
How do I control that?
it's out of our control.
Like it's out of my control. And if I do get sick, because there was a statement I had one day. There was this video I watched. The guy was like, a ride in the ambulance cost about $15,000. Do you know how much that is in my country?
That's like 20 million.
That's like 20 million plus in naira.
What?
Do
you even have
only to drive, only to get to the hospital?
You've not been attended to.
I've not been attended to. So what will I pay when they attend to?
My goodness. You guys, this is that's not
That's massive.
that's huge.
But I hope you guys do accept us carrying drugs, like buying medication before coming here. Because that's the only way to avoid it.
Oh my goodness.
No, but jokes aside, when I saw that, I was like, what? That was insane though. And we really enjoyed this video. So we're going to be planning better in our travel to make sure we get our health insurance to help us cover in any situation.
Yeah, because that's actually inevitable for every human. So
and please, you guys do welcome us as we do come. And in case we make a mistake, don't take it too personal. We are just new and we're touring the country. So see you guys on our next update. And thank you for sticking around to this part. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on this YouTube channel. Tell us if we missed anything in this video. And please let us know so that we know what to avoid when we come over there. See you guys on our next update. For now, remain blessed and